Okay, now this piece is going to be for my, of course this is working on the upper cable, but it's going to be the lower end of that, down by the part that's down in the center of the door. What it has to do is it has to fit on a piece kind of like this and sit there, and then all that mechanism's down here below it, and my cable will be coming down here through it. But the piece that it's got to go through here is only probably 3/16 of an inch wide, so I'm going to have to notch this thing out like that. Of course I'll do that all off camera, and I'll show you what it looks like in the end, and then I'll have to cut it to length too. It'll end up being probably something like this, but I'll look out there at the door first before I do that. Alright, so this is more or less a before and after here. You can see there's a little lip all the way around this thing because it's just, you know, a molded piece of plastic, so I kind of flattened that lip off of there so that it wouldn't affect the length over time. And then you just make a notch. You can see how it's much thinner here. I just notched it down to the point where I broke through. I'm just barely breaking through there. On this side I got a little carried away. I guess my knife was sharper than I realized. But you just keep whittling down on this until you break through just a little bit, and that way it'll fit in that notch out in the door. Okay, I just went out there and measured this. My length from this point right here down to here can't be any more than an inch in length, but that's plenty. It gives us plenty of room to work with. Also notice that it would be better, I took this, I don't know if you can see this little bevel that was around all the way around. I took the bevel off on this end also, only left it on this end over here. That'll help it be stronger over here if I leave that, and then on this end it'll help it go further up in the notch since I got rid of that. So I had to notch it down to 3/16 on these sides, and then I just cut that little bit of a bevel off here. Alright, so this is what I'm going to do here. I got my hinge, which this is all upside down, but I mean my latch, but this is all upside down. I'm going to hold it here. Put my little 6-inch piece on first. And I'm going to put my next piece on here to give me my total length. Alright, so once you get those two pieces on there, you should be able to put your thumb right here where this black part is, hold it, jab all this down on there, and you should have left almost the exact amount to compensate for this piece that will be on there. Looks like we got it pretty close, and you know, once it's in the truck this will all fit together. This will be sticking out of the other end, and this will act like the new outer part of the cable. The black part now is not really being used. I've kind of replaced it with this gray part. Okay, now I would recommend that you clean the little latching areas of this gadget here, so that if you have to get it back off again, you won't be as likely to tear it up. Anyway, you pretty much just need to put it back the way you found it, which I found that they're usually about halfway in the middle there. That may or not be exactly right, but you can adjust it later. Alright, and snap it back together, and we'll go put it in the truck. Next, use a 7/32 socket driver to remove the screws around this speaker. Okay, I've already snaked this down in here, and I've started my 3 bolts, and then I haven't snugged them down. I just got them in there just to kind of help hold it all in place so I can test it. But be sure you snake it down through this channel that's right here, so that it'll come out in the right spot, and it'll end up, stick your hand through the speaker well, or the speaker hole, grab a hold of it here, and you can come up here and make sure you get your notches facing the right way. You can slip it in that, and then put your little peg right through here, and then all we need to do now is come up with something to hold this in place, because it'll pop out if you don't. Alright, what you can do to test this is you can come up here, push this latch in until it clicks twice, come down here and pull your lever. Now on first try mine didn't work right, so all you got to do is you just squeeze this back together with a pair of pliers. It'll pop loose, and you come right down here and adjust it right down here. I had to shorten the length of the cable by 1/4 inch for mine to work right, so I had my inner part off by about 1/4 inch. Alright, now you can get you a piece of galvanized, hopefully galvanized or stainless steel wire, and bend it like this. Need to be fairly long at first, and we're going to use this to kind of help hold the cable up here kind of straight, because you can see right now how it's kind of kinked off to the side because of the bend. We're going to pull it up straight more like this by coming through this hole right here. We need to use the bottom part of this hole because this is where one of your fasteners go. Alright, now temporarily put your door panel, the lower section, back on, and then take a pencil or something and mark this area right here real good. And we're going to drill 2 little holes here to run wire through. Alright, now we got our 2 holes. Now we come up in here with our piece of wire, go around our cable on each side of it, and find my 2 holes here. Okay, now we've ran our wire up through here around each side of the cable and through these holes here. Alright, so once we got the cable pulled where we want it, we just come up here and bend those 2 ends good with a pair of needle nose or something to where they're about the right length, and then I'm going to cut these ends off. Okay, once you get your wires through there, then you just bend the ends over and cut them to where they won't be outside of that little area that you drew. And then I came down here and I drilled this little hole right here. Now, you could probably do this other ways, but I just found this is the easiest way. Take once you drill that little hole, so I'm at the Blair Witch Project there. You come in with a piece of U-shaped wire. Go around your cable there in the back, bring it through this way, and we'll bend it with a pair of needle nose. Alright, and there's the final job. Make sure none of this stuff hits. There's various little mechanisms here. And then you just test her out and tighten up your 3 bolts up top on the latch and put your door assembly back together.